Hello students, welcome to Stratified. Are you ready to simplify your learning journey? In today's video, we are diving into the blueprint of statistics syllabus for PUC first year. In this video, I will walk you through the complete syllabus step by step, highlighting the key chapters, topics and concepts that are most important for your exams. Whether you are feeling overwhelmed or just want a clear roadmap, this video will give you the guidance you need to study and score well in your exams. So grab your attention and watch this video till the end. Begin our journey of decoding the blueprint with the help of a model question paper. Okay, so as you can see here, our question paper has in total 121 marks, out of which the maximum marks are 80. So including all the choices, the total number of marks here is 121, out of which you have to score the maximum of 80. Okay, and the entire question paper is divided into 4 sections: section A, section B, section C and section D. Okay, so in section A again you have 4 subsections. The first one is MCQ, multiple choice questions. So there are 5 questions and you have to answer all 5 of them. Each carries 1 mark. The question numbering is from 01 to 05. So that is from first question to fifth question. Similarly, the second subsection contains fill in the blanks. So again here there are no choices. There are 5 questions. You have to answer all the 5 and the total number of marks here are 5. The question numbers are from 6th question to 10th question. Similarly, third subsection is match the following. There is only one question here in which there are 5 sub questions and you have to answer all 5 of them. Okay, each carries 1 mark. And fourth subsection is very short answer or 1 mark answers. Again here there are no choices. There are 5 questions. You have to write all the 5. The question numbering is from 12th question to 16th question. So this is your section A. Let us look at the section in question paper. So this is your question paper, model question paper 24-25. Okay, so before delving deep into the question paper, let us look at the instructions here. So the first instruction is statistical table and graph sheets will be supplied on request. So whether you need a log and anti-log table or graph sheets to draw diagrams, that is for histogram, frequency polygon and ogives. So graph sheets will be provided to you. Second one is scientific calculators are allowed. So only for statistics paper, scientific calculators are allowed. Third one is all working steps should be shown clearly, whether it is for 2 mark, 5 mark or 10 mark. So all the working steps should be shown clearly. That means all the formula, the substitutions, the answer, and if necessary, the conclusion should also be written for that particular question. Fourth one, for section A questions, only first written answer will be considered for evaluation. So when you are writing section A, you should be very careful that you are writing the correct answer. Even if you have written it wrong, you have to scratch it and then write it again somewhere else so that it will be considered. Next, last one is for questions having diagram, graph, alternative questions are given at the end of the question paper in a separate section for visually challenged students. So for those who are visually challenged, for them an alternative question will be given. Instead of diagrams and graphs, they can write that question or attempt that question. So these are the instructions given. So let us look at the section A. So this is how your first subsection looks like. The MCQs. So you are given 5 questions. You have to attempt all the 5. Next, the second subsection was fill in the blanks. So you are given 5 questions, 6 options. 1 of them is wrong, 5 of them are right. You have to choose the exact one and write it here. Okay. Third one is match the following. So again, 1 question under which there are 5 sub questions and 6 answers, out of which 1 is wrong and other 5 are right. You have to choose the right one and indicate it here. And fourth sub question is answer the following questions. These are 1 mark questions and they are 5. You have to attempt all the 5. So this is how section A is divided, and the total number of marks here is 5, 5, 5 and 5. So total you have 20 marks for section A. Okay, I hope section A is clear to you. Next, section B, that is short answers. So you are given 8 questions, out of which you have to attempt 5, and each one of them carries 2 marks. So total you are given 16 marks, out of which you have to score 10. The question numbering is from 17th question to 24th question. Okay, let us look here. Section B. Yes, so you are given total 8 questions, out of which you have to attempt any 5. Each of them carries 2 marks and you have to attempt 5 questions. So total here is 10. So this is your section B. Similarly, section C. So in section C you have 2 subsections. Both of them are long answers. Okay. So in first subsection, that is the 6th one here, you are given 7 questions, out of which you have to attempt 4. So in terms of marks, you are given 35 marks, out of which you have to write 20 marks. The question numbering here is from 25th question to 31st question. Let us look at the question paper here. So this is your section C, the first subsection, that is you have to answer any 4. So your question numbering is from 25 to 31. So you are totally given 7 questions, out of which you have to attempt any 4. So the total marks here is 20. And the second subsection here is you are given 4 questions, out of which you have to attempt any 2. So you are given total 20 marks, out of which you have to attempt for 10 marks. The question sequence here is from 32 to 35th question. So if you look at here, 32 to 35th questions, you are given 4 questions, out of which you have to attempt any 2. So the total marks here is 10 for this subsection. So section C in total 20 plus 10, it contains a very good 30 marks. Okay. And the last section that we have here is essay type questions. That is the 10 marks questions, the long questions. Okay, long answer or very long answers. So you are given 3 questions, out of which you have to attempt any 2. So in total you are given 30 marks, out of which you have to attempt 20 marks. The question numbering here is from 36th question to 38th question. As you can look here, section D, you are given 3 questions, 36, 37 and 38. So you have to attempt any 2 out of 3. If you attempt all the 3, it is actually good, so that even if one of them goes wrong, the other one will be considered. Or suppose say if you secure 7 marks to this question and 9 marks to this question, then this question will be considered for your score and not this question. So this is your section D. And finally the section E for visually challenged students. So this is your all the sections of your question paper and how the marks are distributed. Now let us look at how the marks are distributed chapter wise. Okay, so here we have this entire syllabus and the number of questions that you will get from each chapter. Look at them chapter by chapter. The first chapter here is Introduction to Statistics. So the number of hours required for teaching is 7 hours and the total marks from this chapter is 8 marks. Now how are these 8 marks divided here? So I won't explain this 4 columns, I will just get to the total here. Okay, so OA, that is objective type of answers. So 1 question or objective type, 1 short answers and 1 long answer. Okay, so let us look at them in the question paper here. So here in objective type you have got 1 question here. Who is father of statistics? Okay, so you have your options. So this is 1 question, and apart from that you don't have any other questions, neither in the fill in the blanks, nor in match the following, nor in the 1 word or 1 phrase answer. Okay, sometimes it may be asked in any of these sections. Okay, so in this question paper they have asked it only in the MCQ. Okay, so that is your 1 mark question. Next is for 2 marks you have 1 question. Okay, this 1, 2 and 5 written here is, this is 1 mark, this is 2 mark and this is 5 mark and this is 10 mark. Okay, so in section B you will get 1 question. So here you have 17 question write 2 branches of statistics. Okay, next, and one long answer. So in section C, you are given one question here, write 3 functions and 2 limitations of statistics. So the total here is 5 plus 2 plus 1, that is your 8 marks. Okay, next, second chapter, organization of data. Again, number of teaching hours is 7 and number of marks here is 8. So here you have objective type 1 question, short answers 1 question, and long answers 1 question. Okay, so let us look at the question paper here. So if you see, in match the following, they have given one question here, absolute error. Okay, so that is your one short answer, sorry, objective answer. Next, one short answer, that is for 2 mark question. They have asked here in 18th question, mention the 2 methods of sampling, and one long answer, that is section C. So define primary data, mention methods of collection of primary data, that is 26th question. Okay, so in total you have 5 plus 2 plus 1, that is total 8 marks. Next is third chapter, classification and tabulation. So the number of teaching hours here is 10 hours and the total marks here is 12 marks. So how are these 12 marks divided here? Okay, so objective type you have 2 questions, or short answers you have 2 questions, long answers also you have 2 questions. Let us look at them, how they are being divided here. So if you concentrate here, then in MCQ they have asked one question here. Next, in fill in the blanks, one question has been asked here. So total 2 questions of 1 mark each, and there are no short answers here. There are no questions for 2 marks. If you check in the question paper here, in section B there are no questions. In section C, as we see here, they have given 2 questions. So one question is here, prepare a frequency distribution table and draft a blank table. Okay, so these are the 2 questions given here. Okay, next, they may either ask you to draw a blank table, or sometimes they may also ask you to complete the table. They will give you half information like number of coffee drinkers and non-coffee drinkers, gender wise. Okay, so they will ask such a question and tell you to complete that data. So either they may ask you a blank table, or they may ask you to complete the information by giving half information. So you have to practice both here. Okay, so total here is 5 into 2 10, and this is 2, so 10 plus 2 12, so total 12 marks here. Okay, next, fourth chapter is diagrammatic and graphical presentation of data. Again, the number of teaching hours is 10, the number of marks here is 12. Okay, so here you have 2 1 mark questions. So if you again observe here, you have 2 1 mark questions and 2 5 mark questions. Now let us look at them in the question paper here. So in match the following, you have one question here regarding pie chart, and in 1 mark question you have the 12th question here, which graph is used to locate median. Okay, so these are 2 questions, each carry 1 mark. If you go to the long answers here, there are no 2 mark questions from this chapter. If you go to the long answers here, you will find one question here, represent the following by multiple bar diagram, and one question here, draw histogram. So usually they will ask one diagram and one graph. Okay, so total you have 2 5 mark questions and 2 1 mark questions. Okay, one in match the following and one as the short or one word answer. So this is again 10 plus 2 12 marks, so total 12 marks here. Okay, next, fifth one, analysis of univariate data. So now the number of hours for teaching is 25, the marks weightage here is 26. So this is the chapter with highest weightage. Okay, so let us look at the distribution of questions here. So here 1 mark question they have given 5 plus 1 plus 1. So let us look at the distribution here. Next, short answers 2, 1 long answer and 1 essay type answer. So your 10 mark question starts from analysis of univariate data. Okay, so let us look at the breakdown here. So in MCQ you have one question regarding to geometric mean here. Similarly, in fill in the blanks you have one question here, that is measures which divide the data into 4 equal parts are called. Next, for a mesocurtic distribution the value of beta 2. So 2 questions here, and next 2 questions are present in one word or one phrase questions here, that is 13 question and 14 question. So total here you have 5 questions and 1 question in match the following. So you totally have here 5 plus 1 plus 1. Apologies, you have 2 questions here, mode and interquartile range. Okay, so these are how the 7 questions, 5 plus 1 plus 1, that is 5 in 4th subsection, 2nd subsection and 1st subsection, and 2 in the match the following. So total 7 1 mark questions are there here. Similarly, short answers they have given 2. So if you go to section B, so question number 19 and question number 20, both of these belong to analysis of univariate data. Similarly, section C, in section C you can see one question has been given here, that is compute harmonic mean. Okay, so one question in long answer, and the last question is section D. If you check this 36, this question is your coefficient of variation, comparison of coefficient of variation, which belongs to the chapter measures of dispersion. So you have one long answer, one essay type, 2 short answers and 7 1 mark questions. So total you have 10 plus 5 15 plus 4 19 plus 7 26. So you have total 26 marks here. So this is a chapter with highest weightage. Okay, next is analysis of bivariate data. So the number of teaching hours here is 15, the weightage of marks here is 17. So let us look at the breakdown here. There are no 1 mark questions here. There is one 2 mark question, one 5 mark question and one 10 mark question. Now let us look at the question paper here again. Okay, so if you see in section A, there are no questions relating to this chapter. In section B, okay, you have one question here, 21st question, that is it is related to Spearman's rank correlation. And don't doubt here with 22. Okay, this is present in the chapter of association of attributes, so this is not a question from bivariate data. So you have only one 2 mark question here. Next, if you search for section C, okay, you will find one question here, that is for 5 mark, and in section D you will find one question for 10 marks. Okay, so here they could give you a question related to correlation, or they may also give you the question related to regression, that is they will give you a bivariate table and they will ask you to find the regression equations. So it could be either of them. So in total you have one question for 10 marks, 10 plus 5 plus 2. So the total here is 17. Okay, next, association of attributes. The number of teaching hours here is 5. The total weightage of marks is 7. So this doesn't have any question in 1 mark. It doesn't have any essay type of questions. It just has one short answer and one long answer. That is for 2 and 5 marks respectively. Let us look at the questions here. Okay, in section B, again this question, 22nd question. What is the difference between correlation and association of attributes? So this question is for 2 marks, and next is 30th question here. Find Yule's coefficient of association for the following data. So one question for 5 marks and one question for 2 marks. So in total you have 7 marks here. Similarly, interpolation and extrapolation. Again, the number of teaching hours here is 5 and the weightage of marks is 6. So you have only one question carrying 1 mark and one question carrying 5 marks. Okay, so one question in section A and one question in section C. Let us look at the question paper here. So if you look at the question paper, yes, so here you have a one word or one phrase answer here. What is meant by interpolation? Here you have to write the entire definition. Okay, so this is one question. Another question is in section C, that is 31st question. Interpolate the value of index number for the year 2017 by binomial expansion method. So these are the two questions that are given here. So you have 1 plus 5, total 6 marks. Okay, next, theory of probability. So the number of teaching hours is 14, the weightage of marks is 15. Okay, so let us look at the breakdown here. 2 plus 1, that is 2 in any sections and 1 in match the following, and one question for short answer, one question for long answer, and 0.5 and 0.5. Note this 0.5 and 0.5, I will explain it. Okay, so let us look at section A here. So in section A you have one question here, next another question here, and another question in match the following. Okay, so total 3 questions here. 2 plus 1 question in match the following, 3 questions. Next, you have one question in section B, that is 2 mark question. 23rd question here is related to probability. Next, in section C you have one question here for 5 marks, and in section D, okay, this 38th question is split into 2 sub questions. One question usually belongs to probability and one question belongs to random variable. So this first question carries 5 marks and this carries 5 marks. So total 10 marks here. So here 0.5 means if this is a 10 mark question, then you will split it into 5 and 5. So this is 5 plus 5, 10, 10 plus this is 12, and 12 plus 3, this is 15. So total 15 marks here. And last one is random variable. So the number of teaching hours is 14 and the weightage of marks here is 10. That is, you will get 3 questions in section A, 1 question in section B, no long answers, and 1 question in section D, that is the shared question here. Okay, so let us look at the question paper here. So one question you have here in multi-choice questions, and one question here you have in the fill in the blanks, and one question in the one word or one phrase answers. Okay, that is define the continuous random variable. Okay, so here you have 3 questions. Similarly, one question in section B for 2 marks and no question in section C. You have no question of random variable for 5 marks, and directly in section D this question. So this question carries 5 marks. So in total you have 5 plus 2 plus 3, that is 10 marks. So the total number of marks here is 121. Okay, the total number of questions here are 16 plus 8 plus 11 plus 3, and marks for each sections here is 20 plus 16 plus 55 plus 30. Okay, so the total here is 121, out of which you are writing for 80 marks. So this is the detailed explanation of the blueprint available for PUC first year with its respective model paper. Okay, I hope you got the idea clearly. Okay, if not, then please watch the video multiple times to understand. Here my attempt was to make sure that I will explain you the blueprint with the question paper so that you get a clear idea. Okay, so I hope you understood the content of this video. If yes, then please like the video, share this one with the needed, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.